Hey Reflections. So I am really excited today. First off, I finally got a new phone, so my old phone was dying. So now I could do a lot more social media with you guys. Add me on Snapchat. It's Quantum with a K, Quantum Kitty with a K and a K. Add me on Twitter. It's Quantum Kitty, Quantum Cat with a K and another K at Samina is awesome. And add me on Instagram. I just created an Instagram account. It's Quantum Kitty, again with a K and a K. And that's Instagram. So I want to connect with all my reflections and like-minded individuals. And it's awesome. We could bounce ideas off of each other, and it's a time where everybody needs to just really be for one another, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to meet so many people that are so awesome. Um, I was just talking to a reflection today, and gosh, there's so much knowledge that we can all just give one another. And I had the reoccurring dream again today, this morning, and it ended differently actually, and I'm really, really excited about that. It started off the same. It was me in my apartment. Apparently, I was doing, you know, some psychedelic spiritual healing, and that really upset the powers that be or whatever, and there were agents or police again knocking on my door, plainclothes like police officers, and they looked really big and strong, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I was with a whole bunch of friends, and then all my friends completely escaped and I was the only one there. And that's when something really funny happened. I became lucid, and at that point, I was trying to really understand what this fear was, and I realized that I was fearful of losing my freedom. In turn, freedom equals, losing your life or death. And I know it's funny that I smile when I'm talking about death, but this was a huge realization that all I was fearful of was death. And I realized I've dealt with death a lot recently. A natural disaster in 2013, 2012, 2013, and then a few really horrible events, after that, and then just recently, like 5 near-death experiences in 2 months, and I realized the pattern that was there was one thing: death and acceptance. So at that moment, I decided to feel acceptance and love and compassion and empathy and super consciousness and connecting with source, and just that's all I felt. And then all of a sudden the banging went away, and you know, the agents went away, and I was like, holy crap, did I just like completely get rid of them? Like, that's it, it's done, and then I woke up, and wow, I woke up just super happy, feeling so much more understanding towards that situation, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. And lately I've been having these ruminating thought currents of like uh, singularity consciousness, and being part of everything and everyone that's ever existed, and just loving that, like just ruminating on that thought, and just really loving it, and understanding it. And I mean, it's great. So let's see. After that, I totally realized that I could, this whole reoccurring death thing, when I thought about it, I'm like, in the past 6 months, I literally, I thought I was gonna die, and then I had that DMT experience when I thought I was dead, And I realized, like, is this some type of like cheat code for death, you know, acceptance? Um, and then it just makes so much sense. This is the synchronicity pattern, and this is what I have to do is just really feel that acceptance over and over and over again. That seems really redundant, but I guess that's the point, you know. Really interesting, amazing. And then I kept on, you know, because I'm obsessive with my hyperspace visions. I finally realized what that circle dot singularity thing was that I saw, and I'm so excited that I can report to you guys, because this is, I mean, I already knew this, like, dude, I already had books with this information in it, and it's just like, because it wasn't drawn in that way, I don't know why. I just didn't put two and two together, but apparently this is a solar symbol. And yeah, it doesn't make sense. See that thing right there? Except it didn't have all these wheel-like spokes, but it did have that dot. And this isn't something, it's the Germanic sundial engraving from 1596. So this is The Secret, it's a really old book, The Secret History of the World by Mark Booth, and it has really great information and knowledge. And the first thing he says is, you know, the world is crazy. What we know as reality is false, and what's crazy is actually real. So I really like this guy. It really just makes sense to me. So yeah, I drew what I saw, and I made a circle that's not very circular, but that's what it looks like. And you see it had some type of the blue neon, like LED writing, and then it had that singularity point. And you know, it's so funny that I didn't put two and two together. It's just, I'm going to read you, it's this blog called, or this website called vopus.org. I'm going to link you guys to this website. Great information if you're thinking about going into your consciousness and understanding, you know, your DMT trips, your mushroom trips, your LSD trips, your dreams, your lucid dreams, whatever. Great website, lots of information on the occult and the universal archetypes or symbols. And this was under the symbols, and I'm going to read it to you, what this says. Okay. In astrology, botany, chemistry, alchemy, and among the glyphs and the signs of the oldest cultures, we can find the sign that represents the sun, either under its pure material aspect as star that illuminates us and whose rays make life on the planet possible, or in the spiritual aspects of the logos, which also with its rays illuminates us and gives us interior life. From ancient times, the greatest wise men protected the wisdom against the profane eyes. They were always preoccupied with its transmission through the heractic and esoteric symbols from the sensible eye, the attentive ear, and the creative understanding of the neophyte that might have known how to capture it. These symbols, figures, signs were not drawn or chosen. On the contrary, they are always in the agreement of the supreme law of nature and cosmos with those of the secret road that are to be followed in order to achieve man's particular universe based on the Hermetic axiom. What is up is similar to what is down, and what is down is similar to what is up. And this is what I was saying, guys. It felt that way, like that's within, without, up, down. It just, that was the feeling I was getting. And it's so crazy how this, you know, article completely just you know, it's the same thing, and it's basically the same thing I saw and felt, and it's just amazing. It goes on to say, we also appreciate that despite the so diverse study fields and despite the so diverse cultures, distance in time and space, the solar symbol is always the same. This allows us to say together with the erudites at Sorbonne, Paris, who agree that the gnosis, knowledge, is a phenomenon that happens inside man, a transcendental wisdom that produces changes inside the individual. It can also be given then, they add, in any era and place as it is found inside the man himself. So these symbols arise from the consciousness of the authentic men who existed in the world and who knew to perceive them through their own faculties, leaving them to humanity and to posterity from diverse I think they cut that off. From diverse regions, oh, diverse, it's supposed to say. They spelled that wrong. Diverse regions, cultures, and mystery schools. The circle with the point inside was, is, and will be par excellence the symbol of the sun, as we already said, inside and outside. Because of that, we see this conceptual synthesis of the dialectics of the language of knowledge expressed in this simple sign. Why a circle with the point inside and not another glyph? Okay, because he, the sun, in astronomy, um, and psychoastronomy, is the center of the universe around which everything spins. And again, when I drew this, it was, this part around was like spinning. It was like this clock like thing. It had lots of motion, lots of movement. Okay. Uh, is the center around the which everything spins, of which everything depends, and from which everything leaves, everything is born. Also in alchemy, the sun represents the golds, the light, the king of the real interior profound being on which we depend, and thanks to which we are born, to which we must return by creating it inside us. It represents the generating mysteries of lingam yoni. The circle is feminine, receptive. The point is masculine, protective. The entire universe is a product of the creative energy. In Kabbalah, it represents the vital kingdom, that is to say, the root that shapes all the laws of nature and of the cosmos, all things. For I King, it is Wu Ki, with no beginning and no end. That corresponds to the ancient symbol Ouroboros, the snake that bites its tail. In the esoteric Christianity is the absolute and also the logos, the cosmic Christ, represented by an aura or sanctity beam to the people that approached it through merit and interior achievement. Finally, in order to confirm what we said, the fact that many cultures distance in time and space with similar conceptions and abstractions possess it, we say the following. When the conquistadors arrived in Mexico, they asked the Mayas who was their god, and they answered by drawing a circle with a point in the middle, saying Hunab Q. So yeah, I know there was a lot of information, but guys, this is just really awesome stuff. I'm so excited. I could finally understand this. Like, it's great. And I'm going to be coming, to a lot of realizations, and this is just such an exciting time period. Like, I realize, like, I'm looking at other people's, YouTube channels, and it's just like, we're all saying the same thing. Like, this is so exciting, guys. This is so exciting. This is singularity. Everybody coming to the exact same conclusion, and the exact same trip reports, and singularity, and super consciousness, and love, and it's great. I'm so excited for the future, and all of that fear that I had before is slowly dissolving, and it's great. So I hope this helped you guys, and I'm gonna link all the information down below. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I hope you guys learned something, and got some information. all the information that I get, I want to give to all my reflections, because I know how difficult it is trying to understand all of this stuff and making sense. I mean, there's so much out there and it's all pointing to the same thing. It's awesome. Bye, reflections.